Morning guys, welcome back to Astral Diaries. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. That's a beautiful church here. Amazing blue sky. And you know, it kind of made me think about doing a video that I've been putting off for a long time. And part of it is because I really wanted to kind of prepare for this. And I realized that no matter how much I prepare for these videos, always very easy to leave things out. So I'm just going to wing it, which is what I've been doing so far. So look at that beautiful church. So this topic is about, is OBE astral projection a proof of afterlife? Literally a front seat view of what it may be, you know, once we're all gone physically. And I've been kind of debating this, you know, for a long time, like most of us. And as somebody who can astral project OBE, you know, some people say it's the same thing, some people say it's different. Somebody who's been able to do it, I want to give you guys my take. So let's do this now. By the way, Astral Diaries channel dedicated to astral projection OBE experiences, as well as tips and lessons. So let's dive in, guys. So, you know, my take on this is, there's a video about this topic. I wanted to watch that again before I do this video, and I've been keep forgetting it about this topic. In fact, even it was titled the same way as astral projection, proof of afterlife. And basically the conclusion that it wasn't. There was some illusion created in your mind, and there was some kind of Indian looking doctor guy in a tie, which immediately I didn't take serious, because I'm like, this guy, from what I heard, from what I thought, was never probably experienced this, so I didn't really take his word that serious. And you know what bothered me was people who are able to do this, they, without shadow of any doubt, conclude that, yeah, this is, you know, all it is just some hallucination in your head. Those are the ones that bothers me the most. To name specific, Raduga, and there's another channel that I don't even want to give the credit to, because this guy is super rude about it too. So he concludes that, yeah, this is all it is in your head. Like, how the hell do you know, man? Just because you couldn't verify anything, which I'm going to get into here in a minute, doesn't mean somebody else can't. If you look in the physical world, just look at Olympics. Look at all the things we can do physically that you and I can do, but as a human's body we can. So what goes to say that in these experiences, these natural experiences such as OBE, just because you can't do something, you can't just conclude that as the answer, you know. For example, let's put Raduga and Darius J. Wright next to each other. Darius just recently in this interview with Kim Iverson, which is closest thing to mainstream, right next to Roseanne, literally said how he's been able to see numbers on the board and have it recorded, documented as scientific as possible. So he's able to say that he can do it, assuming he's telling the truth. And then Raduga, he hasn't succeeded, despite him being able to exit as much as he can. And then the other channel, by the way, like I said, I didn't want to even mention the guy because he's super rude. Supposedly he projects a lot too. So a little intro, and then regarding my boy D, yeah, he's been popping everywhere lately, doing a ton of different interviews. Good for him, sharing all this information. So here's my take on this guy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring religion in and then out. So I'm kind of 50-50 personally. I'll tell you guys why. One, if you take all the religions of, you know, all the religions, put them all on one side, who say that there's something, you know, there's such a thing as afterlife and, you know, a non-physical existence and stuff. And then you have all the scientists, you know, people in shirt and ties and college degrees and doctors, and who tell you, you know, this is all some creation of your mind. So put them on the other side, 50%, there you go. So I'm kind of 50-50 on it personally too. So now, taking all the religion stuff out, what I can tell you guys from personal experience, when you're out, man, it is as real as this. Like, you see this tree, the pole, the sun, everything is as real as what you're looking in your screen. So it's basically the closest thing to having a front seat to what a afterlife could be. Now let's break down what afterlife could mean. The way I look at it, It's in his existence. Sorry guys, I keep avoiding people because I don't want to be too close to them when I'm talking about this type of topic, and every step I take, like I feel like I'm like right next to a person. But I'm still next to this beautiful church. So what I was going to say is, if you break down these, what is the definition of an afterlife, right? If you really look at it, take religion out of the picture. It's a sense of existing awareness, but not inside a physical body. And that's exactly what astral projection OBE is, man. You're literally as aware as you are right now, literally like what you're seeing right now, the details, you know, people, it's as real, but it's outside your physical body. So I mean, wouldn't that be the closest thing to a possibility of an afterlife? Because here you are, you exist, but you're not in a physical. You can look at your hand, touch things, you know. I've done that. I've actually reached out, touched the tree branch. There's the train. Let's hang on here. Let's let this train go here for a second. So the point I'm trying to make it is as real as real. If you want to break down an afterlife, an existence, an awareness that you're outside of physical, that's exactly what it is. Now, is that a hallucination? I don't know. I mean, now let's take it further. The next thing comes verification. So I broke it down to 3. So up until a year and a half ago, before I got into this, if you follow my channel, I feel like I'm repeating myself. Basically, I lost my father early 23. By November, I got back into this after not necessarily hiring some medium. I mean, I just watched them on YouTube, watched a lot of medium. Okay, let this thing go. NBE videos, and then oh my god, that thing is just, okay, just wait till it stops. So by November I came to the conclusion, like, there's this thing I used to do, astral projection OB, which is the closest thing for me to be able to get some answers. I've actually seen my father multiple times. I stood in front of him, talked to him. So that's kind of the next point I'm trying to make here. So the next thing is verification, right? So it feels very real. And what I wanted to say was, if the best way I can explain to you is, especially if you've never experienced an out of body, is when you're in it is as real as this. But when you think back, it's almost like, just think back, what did you do 2 hours ago? What did you do yesterday? What did you do? We can see it's just a memory, right? So it's when you're out of it, yeah, it's just a memory. But when you're in it, it's this real. So verification test number 1, which I thought was the ultimate proof, was like looking and seeing your body. I've never done this personally. I think I've done it once and I didn't see anything in bed, which kind of, all it did was just cost me an experience, because I thought I was physically out because the bed was empty. So even the way I look at it, if you look at your own body in the bed, which I thought was the ultimate proof, I don't really necessarily see that as a proof, because if this is some type of creation of your mind, if that is able to create your immediate environment, then what's the body? A body laying in bed. If this whole thing is just a creation, then that could be it. So that would be the number 1 verification that you could do, we could do as a proof. But I think it won't be 100% because of that, what I just said. Second would be verification of a number. So that's a pretty good one, right? So this is in fact the one person that I know for sure who's been, based on what he's been saying, is Darius has been able to do this 4 times in a row. When he did it with Lisa and Harrison, and then just recently he mentioned in Kim Iverson interview where he's done it too. He mentioned it again. In fact, even this time there's like cameras involved and stuff like that. So let's think about this. So this means you're able to exit and able to verify something as specific as a number. So that's huge, because that, at least now we're getting closer. So this means you were able to actually step out, right? Let's get out of the physical. So that's pretty good. That's close. For the longest time I thought, okay, boom, there you go, that's the proof. But I don't think even that could be the proof, because this could be an ability we have while we're in a living, breathing physical body. If you think about it, you know, there's a lot of stuff we can do physically. You know, some people can do a jump, backflip, some people can't. So this could be an ability, you know, I haven't been able to. Somebody as high profile as Raduga hasn't been able to, but there is your right house. So this means at least we're able to exit, get out and view something. So what this to me verifies is we are able to exit out of the physical. So the third one is the ultimate for me personally, which is why I stressed when I did my video on my 10 questions for Darius Wright. If you haven't watched that, watch it. Number 4 was the number one most important question for me. And then I did a follow-up to my questions for Darius where I kind of stressed this topic a little bit more. This is where you actually access a deceased relative and get a verifiable information from them. And I stressed in my video that just like I haven't been able to verify a number on the board, but Darius has, maybe he can do this too, man. But no one really has asked them, you know. Maybe he asked Uncle Bob about this red box that only Uncle Bob knew before he passed away. And Darius is like, well, where's that box, Uncle Bob? You know, remember that box? There was a watch in it you were supposed to give me. And Uncle Bob says, you know what? It's on 3rd floor in your Aunt Betty's house. And Darius comes off his experience and goes on the 3rd floor of his aunt. And there it is, the red box. There you go, man. You hit the nail in the head, boom, verification. So to me, personally, that's as close as getting a solid verification proof that you're able to access a verified deceased person and get an information that you were able to come back in physical and verify it. Now you could even argue, okay, that could be like some psychic ability. I mean, you could always argue that, but in my opinion, you can't take it further. That's as far as you can take it. And I'm gonna leave you guys with 3 of exactly those type of verification. And before I give it to you guys, I'll put them in the description, guys. And by the way, anything I forget will be in the description. So please check that, because I always forget something. So somebody once said in one of the comments, as far as verifications, that there should be a lot more. Yeah, and I agree. If you think about it, man, I don't know a single person in my immediate family, friend circle that can do what I can do. So that goes to show you that there are not a lot of people who at least can do this willingly, spontaneously, let alone recall it, let alone have a platform like this to come in and share with people. So you can see how the numbers just drop, right? So yeah, there could be thousands of these. Maybe somebody who didn't remember it, or maybe, you know, didn't even have the platform to share it to people. So there could be more, but I'm gonna lead you guys to 3. 2 are OBEs, 1 is NDE. So 1 is with Cyrus Kirkpatrick, which was huge a couple years ago. His channel is all kind of dormant now. The guy was involved in a bunch of different stuff, but he basically was able to verify a soldier's date of death and cause of death while out of body, and then when he came back and Googled it, boom, he was able to match it. So that's pretty good, right? And then Astral K was able to get a meaningful information from her father, which turned out to basically help their mom, because the father said, you know, you gotta watch it, something along the lines that, you know, your mom is sick or something like that. And now, could this be a coincidence? I don't know, maybe. You be the judge. And then the third one is in NDE. I think his name is Mike Anthony, Mike Anthony. He was featured in a Netflix show a couple years ago. The guy is super analytical. He questions the crap out of everything. And he had an NDE where he actually told his father ahead of time something about his hair. And then right at the end of the session, the medium literally was like, you know what? He keeps saying something about your hair. So those are the 3 ones I'm gonna leave you guys. Let's see. Wow, I was able to cover this in 14 minutes. I was really debating to do this topic for a while because it's a huge one. And I want to kind of prepare for it, and I was like, you know what, I can wait around, another month, or I can just wing it. When I saw that church, I was like, you know what, let's just do it right now. So that's it for you guys. I don't think I left anything. If I have, I'll leave it in the description. But just to recap, guys, is astral projection OBE a proof of afterlife? Maybe. I mean, it feels very real. You are out, you know, it feels very real. And then the next thing you can do is verification. Like I said, you can look at your body, that's one. See your body laying, so that it at least confirms you're out. You can verify numbers on a board, which Darius has. The one person that I know. Oh yeah, you know what, there's actually, as far as numbers, yeah, but I have a playlist of verified astral projection OBs, which last I checked, there's like over 40 of them. We're talking about license numbers, detailed on the board, an event. So you guys can watch that. So that there's a playlist of that. But for me personally, meaningful, verifiable information from deceased relative, the closest thing. If that's pretty much the holy grail, because you were able to get, and you know what, this could be a can of worm, man. Think about it. If you're able to get all the mystery, you know, people like murder mysteries and stuff like that, a lot of that stuff that's a can of worm. You can see if somebody is able to get out and get verifiable information. So I can see kind of the potential pros and cons of this type of ability. But, you know, sticking to positive, yes, if you're able to ask Uncle Bob about the red box that had a watch inside it, and then he tells you it's on 3rd floor in your aunt blah blah blah's house, and you're able to get it. Yeah, man, for me, that's the holy grail. You just hit the nail in the head. You prove once and for all that there is something outside, and you're able to go out and verify it. Alright guys, that's it. Astral Diaries. Like, share, subscribe if you want to support financially. Buy me coffee. Watch older videos. That helps with the channel view and stuff like that. And that's it for now.